Hello YouTube, I've been uploading Japan content from 2019, and for 2022, which everything sounds so crazy, time weird, shifted forward, back. We are taking this car, which is a Tyler Cox Memorial car, which has been in the channel for a while. I drove this car a lot earlier in the decade, probably around 2012 to 14 maybe, I don't even remember. It had an SR, and then later on it had my V8, which is the V8 out of my old competition S13, which is the V8 out of the El Camino from Formula D back in like 2004, 2005 time frame. But we're gonna take this car, which was my friend's car. He passed away. That is his fancy car over there. I've been storing for a decade. This is his non-fancy car. I've always not wanted to damage that car, so it just stays under a car cover and is stored all the time inside True's shop. Thank you, True. This car is getting shipped to Japan because I want to chase down Daigo and all the guys at Fall Matsuri. And it is a 13.5:1 compression LS. We are going to bump the compression down probably, I'm guessing, to 11.5:1 or something like that. The gas at Ebisu is actually really good. It's like 100 octane, but I don't want to have to mess with a car going through, like, travels across the world and going around and doing all this stuff. I just don't want to mess with octane. And I actually bought a ton of Torco before they sponsored Drift Week. I bought a whole case of Torco octane booster, and I was going to ship all that over and just mix it in and deal with high compression, because it makes like 515 or 20 wheel when everything's running right, but it has some suspect engine work done to it, like some bearings and some other stuff, and it was making 520 wheel, and then after all that, or before, I don't remember, it was making, like, when we got it and put it on the dyno in the back of the shop, on the same dyno, it was making 80 to 100 horsepower less. So we figured there might be something wrong with the engine. It made good compression. Didn't you check compression work?
Yes.
And everything was good though, right?
Yeah, it was all relatively good.
So where do you think the horsepower was hiding?
Probably, I don't know, in the tune.
Yeah, I have no idea. But it was the same tuner and stuff too. So anyways, it's cheap insurance just to take the motor out, send it to a machine shop, have them go through it, because once this thing goes to Japan, there's gonna be no fixing an LS over there very easily. And we're gonna take some easy parts with us, but we're not gonna take, oh, and the car's on ethanol right now, and we're converting it over to pump gas. There's gonna be no easy fixes, so this car has to be complete. Now, at Ebisu, you should really just have a JZX100 supported by Power Vehicles. That is by far the best idea to do. This is not a great idea to take a competition spec S14 that's American and ship it over, but I already have my Japanese cars, and I've been driving there for like 7 years at Ebisu, and I want a different experience. I want to have like something crazy fast on WiseFab, super cage, so I can go super fast and feel less fear. So yeah, so we're taking the PBM knuckle kit off, we're taking the DG5 coilovers off, replacing these with BC Racing coilovers, replacing that stuff with WiseFab, which is on the shelf, which we just got from them. What else are we doing, Mark? Oh, we're cutting the door bars out because it had doors with no windows. So these are the doors, and the car needs to be stored outside at Ebisu year round in the snow and stuff. And we were planning on just doing some insert doors or insert windows that just kind of popped on. But thinking about it, I think that we really need to do glass, because the car gets like 4 feet of snow on it and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we have windows and doors. Mark has already been cleaning up wiring and changing stuff, because if you saw this car in the channel earlier, it was a real mess back here, and we've been simplifying everything. It's gonna be interesting having a car that doesn't exist in the back, because our cars at Ebisu get a lot of damage in the back, so the back just doesn't exist. That's kind of nice. I did a bunch of ghetto fiberglass work, putting it back together on the back side, because this was in pieces, and then put it back on. And then Mark already took the new fenders off, but I have these gigantic, like They look like 70 mil fronts. Be careful with those. They were expensive, Mark.
Yeah, I just threw them up on the shelf.
Yeah, we need to do some type of headlight setup because Zinke headlights aren't really working because they're too expensive now, and they all are gross. What else are we doing, Mark? Really just maintenance and just fixing everything, right?
Yeah, we're gonna add some paneling to the back to block it off. So
the smoke, that's right. We need to get the LRB.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna do theirs?
The LRB stuff, we worked really well with the SC. So I think it'd be a good fit for this one.
And that's because the car will fill up with smoke and be a disaster. What else?
Also, it'll keep animals from living inside of it.
That's a good point. Hopefully the Wise Fab is super stout. We don't have to worry about that. They sent us a ton of extra tie rods. So we have a stack of tie rods. You can see that. I think 6 or something like that. And this whole trip will be brought to you. Look at that. NK wheels, thank you. That was just happened to be there because I run those. I kind of want to disassemble the motor before you take it and see how everything looks. But also that kind of seems like a pain in the butt.
It also makes it hard to transport, and then we have to keep track of everything.
I know, but we could at least see what like condition stuff is in. It's probably all good though.
Drain the pan and like flip it over, pull the pan back off, and look at
a bearing.
Bearings and
how dumb do you think it is to do this whole project where we're shipping something to Japan?
I think it's really cool.
You think it's cool?
I think it'll be nice to have over there.
If the mechanic thinks it's cool, this actually guarantees him another trip. Dang it, I get it now. That's why he's doing it.
That's absolutely not why.
It guarantees him a trip.
But I think it'll just be cool to have a fast car over there.
Yeah.
Because your car is cool, but even Novak's got a faster car than you over there.
This is double the power to weight ratio of my JZX probably.
Oh, easy.
And on more tire and everything. So anyways, I just want to experience Ebisu in a different way, in like a fearful, super fast way, before I get too old or the kid gets too old or whatever happens where I don't get to do these cool trips anymore. Especially because as Lone Star Drift and Drift Week and all these things start getting bigger, I can kind of execute cooler media stunts, and companies want to help, and that's super rad. And I should take advantage of that in the short time period. I think I'm going to be good at it, and my life will be lined up with it. Because typically, I say the word typically a lot in this, I'm gone for at least 3 months a year doing drifting stuff, maybe 4 or 5, out of state and out of home, and then the rest of the time I'm just always busy hosting drift events. And with a baby now, that's gonna be really tough. So we'll see. Another stupid thing is if I ship this to Japan, I'll currently have 3 cars at Ebisu I'm paying storage on. But thank God Power Vehicles exist and I don't have to like move them around and have some type of landlord there, like anything else. They just take care of everything, which is the only reason why all this stuff works. Hello, YouTube. I am dealing with a baby, so I'm working until like 5 a.m. at night. Mark is up here at the shop. I've been doing the Japan editing. Let's see what he's up to though. Since yesterday, the car has had the motor pulled, the transmission pulled, coilovers changed, angle kit put on, doors changed. Mark is a madman. He is so good at this. Mark, get over here. Oh, he's right there. So what have you been doing? What have you been accomplishing? What are the pain points?
Well, I haven't got to this one yet, but I cut out the NASCAR bar on that side and fitted that door.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's the cage on the ground?
Yep. I'm going to use that door because both pieces of glass that you got with those other doors are the same side.
Okay.
So that one actually happens to have the right glass in it, so I'm going to use that door.
Okay.
I got to cut this one out. I've got the Wise Fab on, and it's super towed out, and it's supposed to be set from the factory, but I think that might just be because the rack offset stuff's not on there. I'm hoping that takes care of it.
How did the install of all the Wise Fab stuff go?
Pretty easy, other than the subframe being tweaked. But it went in pretty good. Not a big deal.
Is this little adjustable piece here like a sacrificial piece that's supposed to get damaged in a wreck, and do we have extras?
I assume so, because they sent you an extra set.
Okay, cool. That must be what that's for.
Yep. And it's got different holes for S14, S15, R33, I think, and then R32 and S13 in there. It's got, you can't really see it. It has a lock stop adjuster there, so we can give you like no wise fab or all the wise fab.
I'm excited just to have, like, if you've ever driven a Wisefab car, have you?
I drove that.
It feels like cheating. Oh, the 370Z, and you probably hated that. But anyways, Wisefab makes it like cheater easy to drive a car. In Japan, Ebisu tracks are mental, and it with the V8 and the left-hand drive and the Wisefab, I'm hoping that I can try and keep up with all the pros and the muscle cars out at Ebisu during Drift Matsuri. That's the whole purpose of this car, because otherwise I'm going to be driving with David and everybody else with normal cars, and this will just be like twice as fast as them. I'll be on 265s in front and they'll be on 235s in back, which is hilarious. Oh, Mark had to cut this.
Yeah, it's not perfect yet. I'm trying to... You're supposed to only cut a little bit, but I wanted to cut enough that if we do caster adjustment on it, since it's not set up yet, I want to be able to get to wherever it's at.
Okay.
So I still got to do the other side. Most times you'll see people just cut like one strip or they'll just drill a hole. But
I trust you, Mark. And Tyler can't complain. That's a bad joke. Tyler passed away, and this is his old car. But I always think about, like, would Tyler be mad because we did something like put a V8 in it? And I'm like, nah, Tyler would be cool with that. The whole point of this is I don't physically have time to go take this engine down to Mark, really. I mean, I'm sure I can make time, but for it to get down there as quickly as possible, he's taking it apart to put it in the back of his 3 Series, hopefully. And it looks like he's measuring it right now to figure it out. If not, I'll drive it down. So this is 13.5-to-1 compression pistons that were in it. You can see how crazy tall they are. We're gonna take these out and replace these with like 11.5-to-1 compression or something like that, so we can be on 93 octane and not have to worry about it. Hopefully like 91 octane and not have to worry about it. There's so many like moving parts with this car to get it ready for the trip. I'm super lucky Mark's working on this. This would not get done without Mark. Super clear on that. Do we need to replace the radiator or anything?
No, I think the radiator's good.
Cool. Frame rails look good?
I mean, they look good.
They don't look terrible.
Chassis. They look better than the one that I got.
Oh yeah, we have the new BCs on there. Look at that, they have a helper spring.
Yep, they got a helper spring in the front.
That's interesting.
And they're fancy.
Yeah.
Each time you buy coilovers from them, they send you better and better ones.
I know. I'm excited to drive on these, especially because Ebisu, there's so much like curbing and jumping and off-roading when you mess up. So.
Yeah, like Toge.
All right, let's go eat. You're doing a great job, Mark. You're doing a great job. Let's go. We're cutting a perfectly good cage. Mark, pull it out. Pull it out. Boop. Isn't that sad?
Paint all of your cage, people.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's funny, actually. We're almost done with this video. We just added this door, and I thought this door deserved a little story. This door is off of Tyler Cox's, this is Tyler Cox's old missile car, off of Tyler Cox's S14 when he drove in D1 with us. So this was his original S14 door circa, I guess, 2004 to 2005 when he started driving with us. Probably 2005. But he wrecked his car maybe in Florida. That might have been the first event. I don't actually remember. And this door is all that remains of this car, I think. I've been keeping this door around forever, storing it for, man, I guess it's been stored since 2009. So that's 12 years? That's ridiculous, don't you think? Okay, I'm a hoarder now. I've had this door for 12 years waiting for it to go back on something. It has the glass, which is nice. Does it have the glass? Yeah. Has the glass in it, and it's going to head back to Japan. I don't know. I think that's special. And let's finish up this video. Mark sent me these pictures once he got home. He took apart the rest of the motor and just wanted to show me the bearings. The bearings didn't have too much life on them left. I think this is just after like maybe 2 events. These are pretty fresh, so we just are going to send the motor off, hopefully to Texas Speed or something like that, or Mark's machine shop in Houston, get everything redone by a machine shop so we don't really have to worry about it and it's all quality work, and then we can package this car up after hundreds more hours and send it to Japan and probably test it here in the United States before we get that far. And another side note as well, this motor was, like I said, out of my other competition car. I had the same bearings and everything in it for like 7 years. And that was revving to like 7,200 or 7,400 RPM, I think, with an AccuSump and stuff. But anyways, we are going to hopefully have another 7 years of good service out of this engine once it's back. All right, good night, everybody. Bye. I have a baby to go take care of at feed.